good? We good? Alright, cool. We're live. What's up, everybody? Another Music Review Monday. It's your boy Ash Matthews here at Razdabar Sound Management, brought to you by Smart Boy Studios. I got Money Mag in the building. Why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
What's good? What's good? It's your boy Money Mag. I'm a rapper slash producer hailing from Dayton, Ohio. Also manage artists underneath the umbrella 25-8 Music Group. And man, I'm here. I'm trying to hear something. I want to hear something nice.
Hopefully we got some good stuff for you, man.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that every previous episode is now on YouTube, and I'll put up a link to that later. Every episode we've done so far, as well as a link to a spreadsheet of every song by every artist and what time they're played in each episode, so you can find anything. If you want to go back and remember, that should be uploaded tomorrow afternoon sometime. You'll see me post it. I think that's everything I have, so we can just go ahead and jump into the music. The first song is from Kip the Kid. It's called Gray Matter.
Gotta stimulate your gray matter. Yeah. Couldn't understand what half my life. Everybody wanna put up a fight. Someone's always gotta prove that they're right. Doesn't matter what the future would say. I was always told to stay inside, play it safe, and I survive. It's not the way that I decided to live my life as suicide. I was forced into being someone different, conforming to the norm every instance, without a certain purpose in my existence. Always held away, kept at a distance. But at the fragile age I was, my mama tried to proclaim love. She said it was only because stupid will do just as stupid does. That's when I turned around and shouted out, I had enough, about to bust. You're out of luck, I'm counting down, with time is up, then I can bust. What would you do if you didn't know who you were? What would you say if you couldn't use all your words? Would you try and find a clue from the time before? Or begin again from the start once more? To be yourself above all is what matters, not the life before or what's after. Trust me, to escape disaster, you gotta stimulate your gray matter. I guess the blast made a pretty good statement. Straddle stuck in all the walls and in the basement. Mother blasted face first on the cement. I rolled the rover and I screamed, now we're even. All the years you made me be nothing like supposed to be. Soul is gone, heart is broken, mind is lost, look at me. I tried to point out that I need help, but you only cared about yourself. Is it worth all the pain that you felt? To leave me into being someone else? To make me think that I've lost myself? To leave me on the floor covered in welts? And at the time I shot my mind, I heard the split bump and lines, tissue rip from side to side. I thought the fight ran up inside. I never knew what it was like to be the one who would decide what I become. My life is mine, now it's time. What would you do if you didn't know who you were? What would you say if you couldn't use all your words? Would you try and find a clue from the time before? Or begin again from the start once more? To be yourself above all is what matters, not the life before or what's after. Trust me, to escape disaster, you gotta stimulate your gray matter. My father was an evil man, beaten with his evil hands, to the point he couldn't breathe and barely even stand. Then he'd take me by the hands, try to make me understand. He only did it out of love, all of this was in his plans. But he had to test my limits, dust me off and help me stand. Couldn't take another minute, had to stumble through his stance. You could see his soul diminish, sweat was dripping at a glance, that was it. He was finished, then he asked me man to man, what would you do with your life if control was in your hands? Would you be a better person? Would you even take a chance? Would you leave it up to fate or give it up to circumstance? Then he got it in his head, he'd be better off dead. It'd be better just to leave, it'd be easier instead. Every second spent alive was another he would dread. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep as he laid there in his bed, wishing this would be the end. This is what he said, what should I do if I don't remember who I am? What did you say? Cause I can't really hear again. Can't find the man that I was in my former. Don't really feel it being me much longer. I'm not myself anymore, my mind's shattered. What's life anymore? I don't matter. He controlled his fate with disaster, and that disintegrates my gray matter. I've survived my disaster. I didn't break, never shattered. To be yourself is what matters. Trust in you and know you matter. From now on into the after, you gotta stimulate your gray matter.
I'm gonna be honest, for me, the thing that held this track back a lot was the mix. Like, I don't know if I could tell you not two lyrics from it because I just couldn't hear the vocals clear enough. I liked the creative things that he was like going for with it, but they weren't executed well enough to where I knew what he was saying and could like vibe along, because the whole time I was struggling to really understand what he was saying. It sounded like he had an interesting flow. It was really cool production. It lacked a little bit of low end, but it sounded like there was a concept. There was like some cool flows. Someone mentioned it reminded them of like what a newer Eminem should have sounded like, and I can kind of see that. But the mix really fell short. Well, that's strange. The mix really fell short, so I couldn't really like understand what he was saying. What about you?
That was the biggest thing for me. It was the mix. It made it kind of hard, but I still could decipher what he was saying. We're gonna start with a more of a positive. More of a positive is that you could tell it was something that was really from the heart. So it really was him. It wasn't him trying to be something that he's not. So that part I really liked about it. Now let's go to some of the negatives. The first thing is that, of course, the mix. So you just gotta, go on ahead and get your mixing together a little bit. I don't know if you mixed it or somebody else, but get the mix together just a little bit cleaner so we can, because this is a song where it's more lyrical than it really is the bop to it. So you want people to hear every word that you're saying so they can really get in that zone and they can feel where you're coming from, because there's probably a lot of people that went through what you went through. The only other thing I would say about it is that in order to get that feeling, because that's what that type of music is, that's a feeling, somebody who's going through the same thing, you gotta say it like you're not reading it. That's the only thing far as the artistry is, because the mechanics, you can get that, that's easy, but the artistry, you gotta say it like you're not reading. You gotta say it like you mean that shit. Like I was, I went through this, I went through that, I'm so tired. You gotta say it like you're not reading it. So, I don't know if you read off the paper or if you memorized it, but try to say it like you're not reading, say it like you mean it. But otherwise, it was a decent song.
Like basically, don't like, it sounds personal, so don't say it like you're just reading a story that like you found. Like, it's your own story. Be emotional about it. Right.
Make it personal. Make me feel it. Make it to where...
Because that's how I'm going to connect to it. Exactly. I have to feel you feel it if I'm going to connect to it.
If I make it... If it was somebody that went through, like a kid that went to see you perform and went through what you went through, shit, they'll bust a tear. So make it like that.
Next track is OGK Sancho, I believe, called Lil While.
Sancho. Whoa, bitches on me cause they say a nigga go. On for a while, white towels at my home. Bossed up, pussy nigga better watch your tone. Building up the trap, I need to take a trip to Lowe's. Whoa, bitches on me cause I glow. On for a while, white towels at my home. Bossed up, pussy nigga better watch your tone. I've been growing for a little while. I've been on my own for a little while. I might leave the city for a little while. They cannot know where I'm living for a little while. I've been growing for a little while. I've been on my own for a little while. I might leave the city for a little while. They cannot know where I'm living for a little while. Hey, I'ma move to a whole nother state. Now Sancho ain't how do you still get hit with the K? I just illustrate, I roll up gun and elevate. Pocket watching niggas wondering what's on my plate. Pocket watching niggas know that I cannot relate. Pocket watching nigga, pocket rocket to your face. I know that you watching, I know why you niggas hate. Diamonds on my neck be aching cause my chain. Yeah, I don't care because it's glistening. Yeah, feeling hot up in the kitchen. Yeah, fuck with us, you in the mission. Yeah, I just got me a new pistol. Yeah, I'm lippin', a nigga still be sippin'. I can fuck What you niggas you fishing? Got two best that I can go pissing. I don't live a life of existence. I roll up a blunt and go to gas bag. I got blur in my vision. Got blur in my vision. I've been growing for a little while. I've been on my own for a little while. I might leave the city for a little while. They cannot know where I'm living for a little while. I've been growing for a little while. I've been on my own for a little while. I might leave the city for a little while. They cannot know where I'm living for a little while.
Already know, I keep a pole. Nigga talking stupid, I'ma blow. Gotta let it go. Man, I'm out from east where the streets get cold. Put it on the floor. Reminisce about nights, posted it at the stove. Tryna get shit sold. Gotta watch my back, gotta watch my bros. Got no time for hoes. So I told my cat and I keep it close. Get a nigga gone. Bullets in his back, body on the floor. Then a nigga gone. Then they come to rest, on the nigga gon' fold. Then the Jakes get told. Yeah, now I got the eye chasing nigga. But they do not got the face of a nigga. And I'm tryna be casing my nigga. I don't know how much I'm facing my nigga. And I see that you waiting, little nigga, to catch me like you mistaken my nigga. And I got the DNA, my nigga. I call up my team and we spraying my nigga. Hey, blue badges, 150, 150. Just epic game, we took over the city. I don't explain myself to pussies, bitch, you tweak. Acting tough, bitch, don't get rugged, be the semi.
I've been growing for a little while. I've been on my own for a little while. I might leave the city for a little while. They cannot know where I'm living for a little while. I've been growing for a little while. I've been on my own for a little while. I might leave the city for a little while. They cannot know where I'm living for a little while.
Between the beat and the hook, I thought it was pretty catchy. Like, I found myself, catching the vibe and head bobbing to it and enjoying it from just like a technical, looking deep into it. Like, I just enjoyed that part of it. I thought the mix was a bit bright and a bit really pushed, up in that 8K, 9K range, real just high up there. So that could have been tamed a little bit. Otherwise, the mix was pretty decent, except for I didn't like the way that the ad-libs and background vocals were handled. They were super far panned, which isn't a big deal, but they were also really loud in comparison. They needed to kind of settle back down and blend in and not be real sharp and high and bright right here on the left or the right. So I mean, a little bit of mixed things. Overall, it was a pretty catchy, fun track for me.
For me, it wasn't too bad at all, man. The mix wasn't that bad to me. Like you said, it was a little bit on the bright side, but the mix wasn't that bad to me. And if you could, break it down just a little bit, you'd be all right. But the actual chorus was pretty catchy, so I caught myself bobbing my head. And whoever it was, I don't know if that was the same person or if y'all had features. It kind of sounded like different people, but when he switched up the flow, that caught my ear. And then when the flow went back to the same thing, I was like, okay. And I was just bopping my head normal. But that flow, that switch of the flow kind of caught my ear because everything else was just kind of monotonous. But I really like that switch of the flow. I see potential in that artist, not particularly that song, but that artist got to go. But the song overall wasn't that bad at all.
No, it was fun. I could definitely throw it on in the background while I'm doing something.
Right,
driving, maybe.
Right. It damn sure gets stuck in your head because I keep hearing a little while now.
Yep.
I'm hearing a little while. I'm like shit. But yeah, it's not that bad. And when he switched up the flow, yeah, that part caught my ear.
Next track is Big Head Band's the song Radar featuring Brianna Marin.
Big Head got bands. Yeah.
One thing that I learned is to lay low under the radar, under the radar. I always end up getting so far under the radar, under the radar. Yeah.
certified made man, 24 hours guaranteed to make 100 grand. I don't flex on Snapchat or Instagram. Half the niggas liking your post ain't your friends or your fam. I move like Kaiser, Sosa, peaking rain, wear a pair on Gucci suede loafers. I don't need the spotlight, I just want the paper. I'm talking major, yachts and skyscrapers. Never rock with niggas that'll talk a lot or reveal your next move. You know how the streets watch. And nowadays these new bitches are men. They personified thug but they ways feminine. They count your money, then gossip like hoes. I seen it all happen before, that's how it goes. They had them feds peeping through your window. Leave them in limbo cause they'll snitch on you every time the wind blows.
One thing that I learned is to lay low under the radar, under the radar. I always end up getting so far under the radar, under the radar. Yeah.
The streets don't love you and fame is a drug. Moving silence become the connect and the plug. Shit changed, it'll never be what it was. Adjust your hustle, get money and rise above. Opinions and emotions, they apply to the weak. No comprende, I only relate to elite. I got a beautiful wife, she my Bonnie in business. When it comes to the grind, what I start, I'ma finish. Throwing money and stripping, them days is over now. I balled out in situations where niggas threw in the towel. I'm a boss that ain't scared to do bullshit. A fan of anything deductible. A prophet that'll always make a profit. I'm like the homie Lennox Lewis, avenge all my losses. I'm a little cocky, but I got self-control. Money make the world go round, my pockets stay swollen.
One thing that I learned is to lay low under the radar, under the radar. I always end up getting so far under the radar, under the radar. Yeah.
All black Lamborghini, all black glasses, all black hoodie, everything I do is massive. Low key, quiet, silent, but at the same time, I'm on some fly shit defiant. The hood made me better, so I know better. Wisdom and the hustle equates to more cheddar. Hood legend, go-getter, Will Smith blazers, Bill Cosby sweaters. I'm on a level where these niggas wanna be, and ready to take on anything that's in front of me. And even when I'm high, I'm sober. Once I kick in the door, I promise you it was over. Cause confidence is not a performance. I promise you, everything I do is enormous. I used to push weight in a 04 Taurus, but that's another story. Wait, here come the chorus.
The one thing that I learned is to lay low under the radar, under the radar. I always end up getting so far under the radar, under the radar. Yeah.
So first of all, I have nothing negative to say about the mix. Mix was like damn near perfect. Like at first when the verse came in, when he came in on the verse, I thought it was a bit too loud, but then I realized that the song was mainly a lyrical song. It wasn't about the beat, it wasn't about that. And once I realized that, I'm like, oh no. And as it went on, I'm like, no, it's perfectly fine. From like a production standpoint, I think the only thing that I would change or would want different is I wanted that third verse, I wanted it to be her doing something, or at least her complimenting him. Like there was a little part where he did a more melodic singing type thing, and I feel like if she was in the background and like sung that, like harmonized with him or like sang something behind, I wanted more of her in the song because I really love her tone and her voice on the hook, and I wanted her sprinkled throughout there maybe a little bit more to have that whole third verse.
I kind of got the AZ, Nas, and the Firm feeling with that type of flow, with that type of music. It kind of brought me back. So it was very melodic. I would say I agree with you. Like at the end, I think what it would took that song to the next level, or where it should be is her singing and hitting some notes and like really making you feel what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like the song was about a particular feel or a particular pitch in regards to when you'd have been there, seen that life, and you just reflected. So I think her hitting that music and really singing her part on that third verse would have took it to that level and really got me to feel it a little bit more. But all in all, it was a decent song, and the flow was there.
I can't say enough about how much I love that mix, though.
Yeah, the mix was pretty good. The mix is getting better. These songs that's being submitted is getting a little bit better. But damn, I'm waiting for somebody to turn me up too. I want somebody to kind of turn me up. It's Monday. I'm already like,
I don't think
turn me up, bro.
I don't think this song's gonna be your turn up song, but I have a feeling the song after this is gonna be your turn up.
Okay.
But let's check out this one. This one is guy we've had on the show before. It's Bine with Still Ain't a Playa.
Yeah. Fucking next, girl, I hate you. Why you blowing up my text? Some things I need to get off of my chest. Oh, please fall in line without a rest. Now we go. Road to riches, I'm steady chasing success. You want me to chase you, but I'm running for those checks. Kick you out the whip, now I know you get the message. How you gonna try to play school your class and now it's session. Pour some liquor for the homies that drown in your puss. Bitch, you can blow me, I'm still blowing the kush. She say she a chaser, so I drink it straight just to erase you. All the shit I'm talking probably don't face you, yeah. Stupid slut, why would you fuck around on the plug? You know I'm the outlet, then again, I guess I never really told you about it. Yeah, you thought it was a joke, it's cool, cause I'm just clowning. I really don't, my new girl, she a centerfold. Couldn't even get you to kiss me low under mistletoe, so fuck a warning shot, these missiles gon' blow. And if you're down on your luck, it's cool, cause you already low. And I know that you know that I hate you while you blowing up my phone, about to copy your pager. Running game on the names, please don't play me as basic. I've been saying they shit changed since 5th grade, since I found my first bit. I found bitches a bitch made, so how you gon' play a player? Can't be stressing these hoes, you curb bitches, Tory Laser. There we go, hold us moving along and you'll come covered on. Tell all your friends that I did you wrong, now what's the deal though? I dropped you before the deal though, you too fake, in my life just too real, ho. Never let you cops on the mass appeal. And tell your husband I'm sorry, I know exactly how he feel. Fucking next, girl, I hate you. Why you blowing up my text? Some things I need to get off of my chest. Oh, please fall in line without a rest. Now we go. Road to riches, I'm steady chasing success. You want me to chase you, but I'm running for those checks. Kick you out the whip, now I know you get the message. How you gonna try to play school your class and now in session?
Yeah, he said he forgot to cut it, but that was all of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Since I know him and I know like the type of music that he does, I was, first of all, when the beat came on, I was surprised that was the type of beat that he chose, because he usually does like more slower, like heavier, melodic type of stuff.
Right.
And so I felt that he rode the beat way better than I expected. Like when the beat came on, I was like, "Oh, he did this song. How's he gonna work his style?" Because I know his style.
That damn Big Pun flow is hard. That's hard to top. So
yeah,
it wasn't that bad. Because I was about to get mad as fuck if you
if you butchered
wasn't halfway decent.
Right.
But then that was all right. I would say, I think my only complaint was the certain parts that I couldn't hear. So the mix might have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it makes me want to hear you on an original beat. Like, because when it first came in, I'm like, oh, this is it. The nostalgia got me hyped. Then I heard the flow. I was like, okay, the flow is good. But then it's like, yo, it makes me want to hear you on an original beat. But that was actually dope. And that was actually a dope feel. It's always good to reach back in the past because you can always pull in extra listeners. If you take a beat from the past that's a classic and take something nostalgic and do it in your own sense. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
One thing I wanted to say was, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. Were the parts that were harder to hear, like, there were multiple vocal layers? Like, he would, like, layered stuff up?
Yeah, because it was kind of, it was just a little bit delayed. So it was just a slight tweak with the execution. But like I said, it's all in all, it caught me. And, like, I think people don't realize how crucial the first 30 seconds of your song is. Like, the first 30 seconds, whether it be a song or freestyle, decides whether a person wants to listen to the rest of it. So that's for anybody who submits in the future. You know, that caught me off within the first 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, okay. And then the flow kept me going. So within the first 30 seconds, man, make sure your shit come in hitting.
All right, the next track is actually just a snippet, but it's from someone that's been on the show a lot lately. I love him. You should love him. It's Aries. He's got a song called Love that he sent a snippet in for us to check out.
Old, and I'd be lying if I said I still didn't want a pair of fairy godparents. I get money, we gon' get big money. Them boys hating cause they made bitch money. When I walk by, I don't hear them saying that. I don't take L's, not a damn stain on me. Get money, we gon' get big money. Them boys hating cause they made bitch love me. When I walk by, I don't hear them saying nothing. I don't take L's, not a damn stain on me. Get your bag on me, get your bag on me. Cleaner than a board of health, cause ain't a stain on me. I'ma keep some change on me, no I can't complain on me. I don't want your girl, nigga, she just all on me. 2, 2, 3, and you don't lock you down like we in zone. Bitch, I woke up feeling like I'm gonna take the trophy home. I'm a dick deep in that pussy every time she laying prone. You can call me Aries, bad is cause I bust through when I'm gone. It's not what you want, but it's what you gon' like. I put Sprite in my lean, did my weed in it twice. I will fuck up your life with this dick that I pipe. All that shit that you talk, why the fuck you gon' hide? Bitch, you know it's on side. Big money, we gon' get big money. Them boys hating cause they made bitch look. When I walk by, I don't hear them saying that. I don't take L's, not a damn stain on me. Get money, we gon' get big money. Them boys hating cause they made bitch look. When I walk by, I don't hear them saying that. I don't take L's, not a damn stain on me.
Now that sound a little bit more up to date, more with that bop. The only complaint I got about that one is that sound like Big Tuck, Not a Stain on Me. And I know you kind of took a part of that flow and took it and kind of ran with it. It's borderline, but it still sound like you. But just be careful with that because I done been in enough hood clubs, enough areas, and that motherfucker is a street classic. It's called Not a Stain on Me, Big Tuck out of Dallas. That shit is a street classic. It plays in a lot of hood clubs up north too. And I kind of I kind of feel that you got a little bit of that from it, but it was still an alright song. I like it.
Yeah, there's just something about every hook that Aries makes, I instantly catch the melody, and it like connects with me. I don't know why. So that was no different. And his production always just gets me. I don't know what it is. That one had a bit too much low end. I had to turning the sub off, and it felt like really right. But with the sub on, that low end was way too much.
Yeah, his production was stellar, and you know, I had to disagree with you. For me, it's not too much low, but you more technical than I am. Like, you know, low end bass. That's what it is with the type of music that I do. That's the first thing that catches people. But
I liked it. But this is the problem with me. Like with the sub on, it was so much that it was taking the energy from the rest of the mix. Right. So I turned it off so I could feel the other energy as much.
Maybe the vocals be brighter with the sub, so that'll make it good. But
that sub that's a balance you gotta be careful about.
Right, with the street music, that sub is not a bad thing, but the song is get money. We gonna get money. Him boys fresh, but they not this stunning, and it's kind of the same cadence and everything, and some of the words was even used the same. But all in all, it was still a good feel. I like it. Like it a lot, man. Now I'm getting a little bit more energy. I might pop out the fucking chair with my big ass.
Next up is a song from another Indianapolis artist. Hypnotic. He's got a song called Dirt featuring King Poe.
Mubs got beats.
They trying to throw some dirt on my name. I do not give a fuck what they are saying. And no, I am not fucking with you lames. No, I just threw some gold on my chain. They trying to throw some dirt on my name. I know they only do it for the fame. They don't know how far we really came. I just threw some gold on my chain. I work my way through every situation. I keep hella blunts up in rotation. Might hear me on a radio station or get locked up because of one of these cases. Fuck your dealer, I ain't one of the aces. No, I'm not a doctor, but I'm serving hella patience. I really started from the bottom, like I woke up in the basement. I am sipping on some greatness, and no, you cannot taste it. When I be tied down, I will resist. You ain't even know how I feel when I write this shit. You ain't even right when I was doing time and shit. And you expect me to give $1 or a cent? Nah, fuck your bitch. I ain't feel bad when I fuck your bitch. Man, suck my dick while I was riding the whip. Gon' pull up, no, I'm riding with a clip. If you know about me, then you know what it is. Hop on the mic and I get shit in. Ain't blow up yet, cause the real show bitch. Gotta know, bitch, overdosing on doses. Owning, I was throwing, I wrote this. Odin, rap got shit, I'm flowing. Waldo, I'm lost in the moment. Going, I'm showing emotion. Holding back nothing, fair warning. We coming, homie, I swear to God, he's a prophet. Wait, no shit. They trying to throw some dirt on my name. I do not give a fuck what they are saying. And no, I am not fucking with you lames. No, I just threw some gold on my chain. They trying to throw some dirt on my name. I know they only do it for the fame. They don't know how far we really came. I just threw some gold on my chain.
Trip it up and ice it down. You know I deliver however you like. They're trying to win in the middle of the night. They speak of my name and I kill them. What's silence when I the violent nature. The tide is patient at times. I try to gauge and subside all of the rage it's inside me. Fuck it, let's cut it loose. I'll scuff a boot in the back of your ass. They wanna test me, I answer the question. You don't wanna know, then why'd you ask? Until they bastard. I practice round your final battle. Boy, was happening. Now look at me, I'm the captain now. Going house to the crowd. I smoke a pound on the stage. Try to prove I'm not a king, but the crown was engraved. Got 'em rolling in the shower like the sound that it makes. They said I couldn't fix the game, but I found a mistake. I scaled a mountain of hate and took a piss on the summit. Got 'em scared to speak my name like I'm a whispering subject. They throwing dirt, I take a mud, bitch. Yeah, it's Indica, we on some other shit. It's
trying to throw some dirt on my name. I do not give a fuck what they are saying. And no, I am not fucking with you lames. No, I just threw some gold on my chain. They trying to throw some dirt on my name. Yeah. I know they only do it for the fame. They don't know how far we really came. Yeah. I just threw some gold on my chain. Yeah.
Mubs got beats.
Go ahead.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I wish the chorus would have been a little bit different because the beat was banging. The beat was definitely banging. Wish the chorus would have been a little bit more feeling. The lyrics were there, the flow was there, but it's just something about the delivery. Like I said, when you kind of reading from it instead of feeling it, it kind of sticks out a little bit. So the good thing about it is the beat was banging. The good thing about it is the flow was there. I heard lyrics. It's just the delivery, not the delivery, but particularly the feeling about the delivery. It's almost like you read. Second verse, it was kind of like ICP. It's like I kind of heard a lot of Insane Clown Posse with it, but I still heard lyrics. So all in all, not a bad song. Just take an extra hour, go back into the studio and really listen to it, and listen to that chorus. Like, is that chorus infectious, or is it just something to fill up space?
Right, because I mean the beat knocks, and like lyrically and like the idea of the chorus I liked, but man, like throw a little bit of auto-tune, pitch correction, not like auto-tune as an effect, but just some pitch correction, make it in key, throw on some more layers, beef it up, make it a chorus, not just you repeating this line. Like some pitch correction, some layering, and some feeling in the delivery could really make that a pretty good hook.
Right.
Because the beat knocks, the feature was pretty dope. And then the vocals could have been blended in a bit more in terms of mixing. They were kind of just like flat right there in front, but they weren't like a part of the beat, which it caused a disconnect for me.
Right. It's like we getting there. It's like it's certain little things that just make a song, just make you jump out of your seat compared to just nod your head. So we getting there, man. We getting there. It's positives and it's negatives, but keep submitting, man. Keep working, man. I hear something. So I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for somebody to make me jump the fuck up out my seat. Like, y'all really don't realize how quick and how agile and how athletic I'll get in this motherfucker. And somebody help me, somebody send me something, make me jump the fuck out my seat, bro. Like,
I won't be jumping out of my seat. I'm not quite as athletic. Like that. Well, this one's not gonna get it for you. This one's interesting. This one's a little bit different for us.
Okay.
It is a acoustic duo, I believe, that goes by the name The Latin for Maple. It's a song called Whistleblower, and it looks like it's a cover song from a Canadian singer-songwriter named Dan Mangan. I don't know, but let's listen to it. We'll check it out, see how we feel about this.
Okay.
I believe it's an acoustic indie duo, if it plays. It's a Bandcamp link, so you know how that goes. Well, we're trying here. There we go. It's a lo-fi studio recording, I guess.
How could I have known hollowness of bone until I was shown the weight of being alone? Pierces slowly in, opens up the skin, takes as well as gives. You can be the whistleblower, you can really sound it out, and to all the willful blindness.
I'm stopping it for one reason and one reason only. the guitars are not tuned, and it's going to drive me absolutely crazy. I can't. It's just the guitars not being tuned that's getting me. Right. See, Wild Style called it. I couldn't do it though. You gotta tune your guitars if you're gonna record. Like, I liked her voice. I didn't love his voice. I could really dig it if there was more production value to it, and it was mainly her singing. But you gotta tune your guitars, and that's really all I gotta say about that.
So, I'm not gonna sit up here like I just know everything about that type of music, but I do know that type of music, not just hip hop, but I also listen to. It kind of gave me what is that lady's name, man? Janis Joplin. I hope I'm saying it right.
Janis Joplin?
Yeah, it kind of gave me that kind of feel to it, but I listened to Janis Joplin and then I listened to that far as the quality and the blend and where you're going, and it just didn't hit for me. But I do know where you're going with it. And the guitar work, I don't know about the technical part, but the guitar wasn't that bad. The music wasn't that bad. It's just the blending and the blending of the voices is like, it kind of threw me off. But I kind of know where you were going with it. Keep working with it. Go back into the studio, check it, try to blend it a little bit better. You might come out with something a little bit better, but for me, it just wasn't doing it. But it wasn't like make me run out the building bad. It wasn't doing it for me.
And like I said, for me, it was just the out-of-tune guitar. Like, that was the only thing that like made me stop it. Like, otherwise, I would have enjoyed it, even with the really lo-fi recording quality.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was like the quality, because the music wasn't really that bad.
No, like
just
a properly
quality.
Yeah, that's what killed me on it. But next track is Jay Lee, a song Dro. It says the file says mix 1, so I'm assuming this may be in the works. I know you're in here, Jesse, so let us know if this is in the works or if it's a finished song or not, but we'll check it out regardless.
Yeah.
Herbs on a beat, herbs on a beat, herbs on a beat, herbs on a beat.
Gotta ask, girl, you ain't gotta ask. I be blowing on that hydro. I be blowing on that good smoke. I know you know. I be smoking hydro. You know it's either purple or gelato. When I smoke, no skin and straight thumbs. Rolling up a thumb. 4 grams in the wood. Nah, nigga feeling numb. I be smoking on that hydro. You know it's either purple or gelato. It's straight smoke, don't smoke no mist, don't smoke no red. Get that shit up out my telly. Drop dick up in the belly. Got that good pass, she ready.
I told her, if I pack your hydro bag, she love blowing on Doja sex. One-way trips to Cali, ain't no telling when we coming back. Take your stacks, move this pack, we gon' send like 3 today. This is just a PSA, lost 10K with TSA. Indica, sativa, good head in this bitch a keeper. What you smoking, lil' mama, lil' scooter, can get it cheaper. I'm talking 448, 5 blunts, that's a day. IPD, Cassius boxes, gon' fuck up a section 8. 5 pounds of grape, 20 pounds of green crack. H-Town niggas gon' bang here, New York niggas gon' lean back. Her brother bought 5 packs, call back for 5 more. I be smoking out the bow every day with my eyes low.
I be smoking hydro. You know it's either purple or gelato. When I smoke, no skin and straight thumbs. Rolling up a thumb. 4 grams in the wood. Nah, nigga feeling numb. I be smoking on that hydro. You know it's either purple or gelato. It's straight smoke, don't smoke no mist, don't smoke no red. Get that shit up out my telly. Drop dick up in the belly. Off that good pack, she ready. Yeah. You know I keep that good shit. You know I keep one roll. The gas straight from out the city. Got that bag and I keep it with me. High as fucking the charger with the hit me. Tryna hit 250 with a bad bitch and she pretty. Rubbing all on that pussy. She be smoking all of my good. She just want good dick, good drink. Do you feel me? She in love with my drugs. She in love with the blood. And she don't give a fuck. I be smoking hydro. You know it's either purple or gelato.
that was the rough draft?
Yeah.
Not bad for the rough draft.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Do you have any pointers or any ideas for him, or?
Since he already warned us that it was the rough draft, I was just saying, once that mix get a little bit better, you might have something. You might have something, because I was feeling it, and I could actually hear it in the club.
Yeah.
You got a little Patron in you. You see something a little bad in you, you see something a little bad across the bar. She see something in you. I could feel it. So I would say, once the mix get a little bit better, once y'all finish it, make sure y'all spend time on that mix too, because like I said, the mix is everything. Make sure y'all spend time on that. But yeah, it definitely got potential. Definitely.
Yeah, like you said, there's just a few little touch-ups, a few little just kind of gluing it together and solidifying it as one whole sound. I've heard your songs that are a little bit further mixed and finished before, so I trust you're heading in the right direction. If you want to send that directly to me when you do your next mix, I'd love to give it a deep dive listen, if you don't mind. If you want me to, I'm down. And so yeah, keep in touch with that one. That one's
that one was definitely the best thus far.
Yeah, he usually comes in pretty solid. He's been on the show a few times, and he always provides some solid ass music. Wrong thing. There we go.
I might need some more fucking water, bro.
I'll go get you some. This next one is, you guys have heard him on the show before. It's, again, I still don't know if it's D or DEE or whatever, but it's he always sends in beats to listen to, and I think we've done 3 of them, and the first 2 to me felt very much like they'd be good for behind film or video, but the last one he did sounded like it would be a really good song, with vocals on it. So I'm excited to hear if this one is more geared towards having a vocal on it or not. So. So for me, the one thing that I want to say is that main melody, that do 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 do, but that whole thing, I feel like he could have spiced it up, like switched it up a little bit, or added some extra stuff. Or that was the only part that I felt was a bit like repetitive, and it could have had a little bit more flavor and character to it. But I know Money Mag's got some technical advice, and he's gonna cover everything, I would say. So I'll let you run with it.
Well, the bass line was definitely hitting, but the problem is that when you're using a low end, you got to make sure that you sidechain with that kick drum. Because I heard the kick drum, but it sounded like the low end was smothering the kick drum. So you got to make it to where I don't know what program you use. Me personally, I use FL Studio 12. So it's called sidechaining. So whenever that kick comes in, it cuts through that low end. And it makes that kick real pronounced, and it makes that low end. The low end is still there, it's still bigging, but that kick gives it a little extra oomph. So you got to sidechain and take your low end and make it spread for the kick. So that's the first thing. The second thing is there was a lot of echoing and a lot of sounds that I heard out of the low end that's not supposed to be in the low end. So that lets me know that as a producer, you still got to learn a little bit more about mixing and working with your frequencies. But all in all, the artistry was there because the beat is banging. It's just that the mix is not that great for the bass line and for the production in the hall. So you just got to work with your frequencies a little bit more and then make some space for your kick to come in and slice through. So learn how to sidechain, learn how to work with your frequencies more. You'll have a better beat. It'll make a world of difference.
Yeah, I totally agree. The frequencies thing was something that I caught a lot, and I mean, the only thing that I'm worried about is that his like listening environment may not be like treated or set up well, and he could be like, there was that one frequency in there that was like really coming at us in like the 500 to 800 range, maybe.
Right.
That like almost honky nasally frequency that was just like coming up. I wonder if his listening environment, like, that gets drowned out. That's like, he doesn't hear that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm afraid of.
And your equipment makes all the difference too. Like if you got a certain type, invest in speakers with the headphones. Get different type of headphones. Please not the Dre's, because the Dre's make any beat sound great. So please not the Dre's, but get different type of headphones. Make sure your speakers is quality. Even set them up correctly to where you're not getting the echo off the wall. Make sure. So you can really listen to your frequencies, because that's going to make all the difference. You don't want something that's high-pitched in a low-end frequency. You don't want your low-end smothering everything, man. You want that good kick so you can really get that, because it sounded like a trap beat to me. I could be mistaken, but so you can get that real trap sound, you want to make sure that kick cuts through.
Right on. Next up, we got Tyrone Steele with a track called I Miss You. I have no idea what this is going to be. With a name like I Miss You, it's like, it could go so many different ways.
Might start crying in here. Shit, who knows?
Oh, no. Grab the tissues.
Miss you.
For me, I thought it was super, like, it was kind of unorthodox, but I'm going to be honest, I love that song. I don't know what it, like, at first I was like, this is a bit busy, and then the more I listened to it, the more I'm like, no, I kind of like it, and, like, it was like a busy instrumental with, like, these very wavy, vibed out vocals that were super wet with reverb and everything, and I feel like there was a little bit I desired from the mix. Her voice definitely could have used a de-esser, some real sharp sibilance going on in there, but otherwise, I'm going to be honest, I like the song, and I will probably listen to it again later. That's just me, though.
Here's the thing that I liked about it. I like the piano, and I like some of the sounds in it. But I'm gonna be honest, it's a no for me.
What turned you off from it?
What turned me off is that I'm not gonna say all of the singing, but I heard some sour notes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say all of it.
Yeah.
But I heard some notes that was not getting hit. And there is a way to actually work with it a little bit. To kind of work with them notes and kind of blend them a little bit. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. We got people in the industry that hit some sour notes every now and then, and you hear them in live, but when they come out the studio, it don't sound like that. Key point, Ashanti. Just being honest. But other than that, man, I think just work with it a little bit more because it just wasn't doing it for me, man. It didn't catch me in the first 30 seconds, and the notes was kind of sour. I'm sorry. But the music was good. Let's end with that. The music was pretty decent. Give me that 90s coffee.
Maybe with a bit of pitch correction and a little bit more production value, it could make it just real solid. At one point, I heard I could hear this in the back of like a James Bond scene.
It ain't even the type of music. It's just that if you gonna sing like that, you got to hit those notes.
I see what you're saying.
Like,
if you're gonna do that, you really gotta.
The engineer has to stop. Like, nope, you didn't hit it, and you gotta get. This is the type of song where the engineer gotta stop you so much that you get pissed at him. But it's the producer who's in there, whoever in there directing it, gotta stop it. Like, nope, that's not it. You can hit that note. I've heard you hit that note before, but bam, that's not it. Let's try it again because it's going somewhere. It just never made it.
I can see that. I still really like the track though. Next up is "Let It Go" by Black Cobain featuring Cat Clark.
I just want to paint the picture. That sound good right there too. Talk to him. Yeah. Do you believe in me? Yeah. Cause if you do, I need to see. Yeah. We working hard, but we so discreet. Yeah. It's more ambitious, so we hardly sleep. Yeah.
Working hard, never hardly working. I'm up all night comparing scars, just took off a vision. I lost my mind within the bars, man, I'm feeling gifted. Take a rest up on the stars, feel my soul encrypted. And I just wanna float away from reality. Working like a dog for the bone, for the prophecy. Ain't no time for games, I need gains, fuck the popo. And I'm eating chicken with my bitch and sipping fofo. Let it go, let it go, I'm like, let it go, let it go, let it go, I'm like, let it go, let it go, let it go, I'm like, let it go, I'm like, nah, nah. I got fucking weed, we could blow out. I got fucking weed, I got weed, we could zone out. I got fucking weed, I got weed, we could blow out. I got fucking weed, I got weed, we could zone out.
Look, I proceed with the mission. To the mission's accomplished. I watch all of my flaws. I was raised in the projects. You was roaches and roaches in the kitchen and ashtrays. My homies getting shot. The definition of bad days. Rice-a-roni, bologna. Niggas trying to be Tony. They say the world is yours. You reach the top, it's so lonely. lonely. Niggas acting so phony, but I'm prepared for the shit. These rappers acting, but it's crazy how I stick to the script. I see groupies, see junkies, I see dreamers and putos. I see niggas keep on finding all their ways through these loopholes. I see scammers, see women, bring to having their baby. I see niggas getting shitty, reading Bible scriptures, motherfuckers. Yeah, you gotta love us. Yeah, there's none above us. Yeah, so tell them creep about the covers, something like that. Something like that. We're gonna, you know, let it go. Let it go, let it go. Okay, how it go?
Working hard, never hardly working. I'm up all night comparing scars just to cop a vision. I lost my mind within the bars, man, I'm feeling gifted. Take a rest up on the stars, feel my soul encrypted. And I just wanna float away from reality. Working like a dog for the bone, for the prophecy. Ain't no time for games, I need gains, fuck the popo. And I'm eating chicken with my bitch and sipping fofo. Let it go, let it go, let it go, I'm like. Let it go, let it go, let it go, I'm like. Let it go, let it go, let it go, I'm like. Let it go, I'm like, nah, nah. I got fucking weed, I got weed, we can blow out. I got fucking weed, I got weed, we can zone out. I got fucking weed, I got weed, we can blow out. I got fucking weed, I got weed, we can zone out.
That mix was better. Oh Lord, that
I know.
Be all right. That'll be.
It's a really good song. There's some, for me, the beat was a little bit squashed, like a little bit over compressed overall, and the vocals just weren't quite there for me. I mean, the delivery, the lyrics, the performance, all that was really good. All that was great for me. But the overall just mix of it sounding clear and clean and dynamic and comfortable is what was lacking for me, but it was a good song.
Honestly, to be honest with you, that song caught me within the first 30 seconds, but I do agree the mix would have made it like crazy. Like if you would have had that kick drum cutting through that bass line and really hitting, the mix was really nice. That would have been awesome. Plus, on some real shit, the actual vocals to the chorus, like I know where she was going with it because it kind of sounded like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know about you, but it kind of sounded like SZA mixed in with Wale flowing on the day.
Yeah,
like she was SZA on the chorus, and it was Wale on the actual song.
I hear that. I hear it.
What would have made it better is that her voice needs some type of mix. I don't know particularly if it's reverb or if it's something else.
Somebody else commented that she needed more reverb.
She would need,
I agree.
She needs some type of mix on that voice, and that bass line mixed with that kick need to be sidechained. It need to cut through that bass line, and that need to be mixed a little bit more. It was a little over compressed, but all in all, that was a decent song. That's one of the songs where, okay, it's not mixed perfect, but I like it. And if you go back to the studio and get with an engineer, or if you're the engineer, listen to it, figure it out, mix it a little bit better, actually a lot better, man, that's a banger. That's really a banger. Like that's all right. It kind of gave me that feel like they was on Top Dog Entertainment, like with Kendrick and them. It kind of gave me that Black Hippie feel.
Yeah, it definitely
like
had that feel. Next up, this was a previous submission from last week.
All right. So this one's going to have to be my last one. I got to cut loose, y'all.
That's cool, man.
Loose, man. And I really enjoyed it though.
But let's check out Unknown X with his track Go.
GMB.
Nigga, I get it, I hit it, I whip it, I whip it, I ship it, I flip a meal ticket, let's go. On the stove top skillet, I grill it, them yams, I peel it, big business, got ground by the storefront. Showing up, bitch from the kitchen king, vision free, Mitch front work with commission, you can hold some. Roll some, stick it real picky, it's TV and a cheaper, nigga bowl some. Loud can't patrol. Nigga, I get it, I hit it, I whip it, I whip it, I ship it, I flip a meal ticket, let's go. On the stove top skillet, I grill it, them yams, I peel it, big business, got ground by the storefront. Showing up, bitch from the kitchen king, vision free, Mitch front work with commission, you can hold some. Roll some, stick it real picky, it's TV and a cheaper, nigga bowl some. Loud can't patrol nothing.
Tie to a pole, that's to the bow, get it together, y'all. I get the cheddar bow, I'm about that better bow. I stay ahead of y'all, life is a poker game. I come to bet the house, high in the sky, let my feather fall. Know they me rather fall. Hating, debating, I shut they mouth, that's what the X about. I get the X amount, whip it and whip it, I stretch it out, ship it out. Kitchen game, whip game, wrist game, flip game, ship game, big bank roll on your big screen, go. Flow pristine, 16, big dream, big scheme, bitch, wanna switch team, bitch, you can go.
No big thing, big lean, dead team, man clean, never beam, nigga don't want no smoke.
Big dro, big steam, sip lean, all black team, me machine, guillotine, at a nigga throat. I'm about to real, I pop the seal, drop in the mill, I got the go. Hard steel drill, team, feel like a pill mill, flip money, big flip, windmill blow. No big thing, big lean, dead team, man clean, big nigga don't want no smoke. Big dro, big steam, sip lean, all black team, me machine, guillotine, at a nigga throat.
I get it, I hit it, I whip it, I whip it, I ship it, I flip a meal ticket, let's go. On the stove top skillet, I grill it, them yams, I peel it, big business, got ground by the storefront. Showing up, bitch from the kitchen king, vision free, Mitch front work with commission, you can hold some. Roll some, stick it real picky, it's TV and a cheaper, nigga bowl some. Loud can't patrol. Nigga, I get it, I hit it, I whip it, I whip it, I ship it, I flip a meal ticket, let's go. On the stove top skillet, I grill it, them yams, I peel it, big business, got ground by the storefront. Showing up, bitch from the kitchen king, vision free, Mitch front work with commission, you can hold some. Roll some, stick it real picky, it's TV and a cheaper, nigga bowl some. Loud can't patrol nothing.
Pill man pillin', deal man dealin', chillin', put the feelings in the ceiling. Bill man blue bands flippin', grams in the kitchen, yams pillin', still pitchin', whispin' the hand whippin'. Center man center still winning, winning still sending to the end from beginning never ending. Big money swing like a pendulum, big scheme swindling, all about the Benjamins. We don't do chit chat, riff raff, get back, clip pack, get your wig split back, represent that, mint that, spit fast, get rats, big stacks, spent that, get the rent back, get your bitch bent back, sent back, skin flinch, send a match, ring attached skin with my centers at fresh like a tic tac, fitted cap, spin back, different color mask, fashion shit's been attack, crash with the. We don't do chit chat, riff raff, get back, clip pack, get your wig split back, represent that, mint that, spit fast, get rats, big stacks, spent that, get the rent back, get your bitch bent back, sent back, skin flinch, send a match, ring attached skin with my centers at fresh like a tic tac, fitted cap, spin back, different color mask, fashion shit's been attack, crash with the go pack.
I get it, I hit it, I whip it, I whip it, I ship it, I flip a meal ticket, let's go. On the stove top skillet, I grill it, them yams, I peel it, big business, got ground by the storefront. Showing up, bitch from the kitchen king, vision free, Mitch front work with commission, you can hold some. Roll some, stick it real picky, it's TV and a cheaper, nigga bowl some. Loud can't patrol. Nigga, I get it, I hit it, I whip it, I whip it, I ship it, I flip a meal ticket, let's go. On the stove top skillet, I grill it, them yams, I peel it, big business, got ground by the storefront. Showing up, bitch from the kitchen king, vision free, Mitch front work with commission, you can hold some. Roll some, stick it real picky, it's TV and a cheaper, nigga bowl some. Loud can't patrol nothing.
Am I?
Yeah.
Why? Can I? I'm about to get real explicit.
Go for it.
Man, why the fuck did you overlap that? Why?
Thank you very much.
Why did you do that?
Not necessary.
The song would have been okay if you wouldn't have overlapped that shit, bruh.
The flows were awesome.
Bruh.
The flows were awesome. You had some effects.
Keep it all the way 100 with you. Keep it all the way 100 with you. I was vibing with that shit. I'm like, okay, he got a different flow, kind of got a different style. You kind of sound like you belong in Hustle Gang with that flow style and that flow pattern. Because the Hustle Gang CD, We Won't Smoke, had a lot of that type of pattern to it. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of feeling this. And then that overlapping shit started. Like, I don't know who your engineer or who your producer is at that time. They should have stopped and been like, listen, you going. You about to fuck up this song by overlapping. You about to fuck it up.
It really did,
Bruh, like,
man.
Whoever this is, what's the name? Unknown X?
Unknown X.
Unknown X, please listen to me. Because this is not a diss. This is just some real shit. You got go. But please don't ever overlap your shit like that. Because neither one of us knew what the fuck you was saying. Damn. But but on some positive shit. Now don't say I just dissed it. Don't say I just disrespected it. No. You have go. And I'm letting everybody know that's watching right now. Unknown X has go. But that overlapping shit, don't ever do that shit again and you'll be perfectly fine.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Man, I was so disappointed.
And it was a roller coaster.
This shit hard. And then I'm like, no. Oh, hell no. I'm like, bruh, if I was in the studio with you, we might have fought. Cause I might have said something you don't like, but you know I wouldn't be no yes man. I would have told you that shit ain't gonna work. Do it again. But Unknown X, you got it. Wherever you are, I don't know where you from, who you are, you got it. Don't ever do that overlapping shit again.
It was such a roller coaster. I was so into it, and then it overlapped. And then I was super into it, and then it overlapped.
That shit pissed me off. I got to go. But listen, before I go, I really appreciate you bringing me on
no problem.
the show,
Thanks for coming, man.
And before I leave, man, I just want to give people honest opinions, so I hope I didn't offend anybody or anything of that nature. It's just, it is what it is. Like, some things need to be fixed, some things not. But listen, the name is Money Mag. I got a new EP out called 25-8. It's on Tidal. It's on Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, any kind of streaming thing that you can get on. Anything you can get on with your phone to listen to music, type in Money Mag and 25-8 EP. And most of it was done by the late, great Mo Beats out of Razdabar studio. For all of y'all who don't know, Mo Beats is the person who created this fucking studio. So, yo, you know it's quality. You know it's A1. I really enjoyed listening to everybody's stuff. There is some potential. There's some songs that's bangers, just need to be mixed right. But, yo, man, it was a good night.
Cool. I'm probably going to have Russell join me to do it a little bit later. We can go a little bit longer, so.
Russ, you're up.
Man, that's some big shoes to fill right there.
Literally. Oh.
Hey, man.
Hey, nice job. Take it easy. All right. Damn, that pissed me off.
Oh, dude, I was...
gotta go for that one. That pissed me off something fierce.
And he's still going on about that.
I know, he's going to drive home. He's going to be on the way home thinking about it.
He's going to call you.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get a message tonight, bro. That song still pisses me off.
You know what? Matter of fact, what's the other? It's Unknown X and it's another person, man. It's another person.
What, that
I was liking. It was another person I was liking. It was just the mix was off.
Was it Jay Lee, the real smooth song that was like, it wasn't the final draft yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Unknown X, they can holler at me. Let me drop in on their session and so I can tell them no, yes, no.
Keep it real.
Rock on.
All right, man. Good to see you. Take it easy, man. All right, so for those of you that don't know Russell, tell them who you are real quick.
Hi, I'm Russell. I'm a head engineer here at Razdabar Studios, and the mic's a little... I'm going to fix this mic. It's going to make a bunch of noises and stuff here. There we go. Ooh, but that sounded really good. I'm also... I produce and create and make music for film and TV. Just TV right now. I do stuff for Catfish, Basketball Wives LA, Vice on HBO, and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I'm also one of the engineers here, besides being the head engineer here, and run a few sessions and stuff, and record some people and make them sound really cool here at Razdabar Studios. And now we're gonna rock on with some good stuff, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Did you want to tell them about what song you may or may not have worked on that we've played tonight?
By the way, Big Head Band snuck one in on you guys just a minute ago. He threw one in there. It was Radar, and I'm thinking that Ash might have known it was me because he didn't want to say anything about the mix.
I wasn't sure until I heard the mix, and then I'm like, oh. Yeah, this is who I think it is.
That was my mix. Mixed that for Big Head and put some extra special super secret sauce on it, like I normally do, right? And I was happy with it. Actually, I've done a few mixes for Big Head, and and he has he's got some radio play on Sirius station.
Right. Yeah. I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
It's kind of neat hearing stuff you worked on a radio-ish stuff.
I'm pretty jealous.
Yeah. Well, your turn's next.
Yeah. I called dibs. Okay, so we got Julian K with a song called Draco. Let's give that a listen real quick like.
JK. Oh, 18. I'm killing you, hoes.
The following is a Will Hansford presentation.
We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch. We gon' either make up or we break up. We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch. We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch. You can catch this 40 or this Draco, bitch. You can catch this 40 or this Draco, bitch. You can catch this 40 or this Draco, bitch. We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch. We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch. You can catch this 40 or this Draco, bitch. Run up in your crib, make you lay low, bitch. I'm not Simon, but they do what I say so, bitch. Dogs coming through, they bringing K9. Hey, now you stuck up on my record zone. Rewind, we time, take a 4, and you at the E line. You can catch these shells like we at the C line. I just made 100,000, then I flipped that A, yeah. Anybody beat, I rip that A. You a ugly ass nigga, wouldn't kiss that A, yeah. Only want the neck, I couldn't hit that A. Tryna claim me, but I'm not your bae. Just put that piece up like Andole. Make him feel some kind of way, but I don't give a fuck. Make him lose his appetite when I put it in his gut, in his butt. That crown, yeah, ain't giving it up. You a half-breed bitch, little nigga, you a mutt, you a judge. Niggas want beef, I'm serving cold cuts, yeah. Niggas won't beef until I grab the holster. The way I switch the sides, I call him I'm a roaster. I'm at that nigga neck like a choker. Claiming he know me, but I don't know ya, and I don't owe ya. Titles for the taking, best in the making. You a whack ass hoe, and you basic. Have you planted on that wall for entertainment? That barrel in his Glock is interchanging when I bounce back. Yeah, I'm not in the matrix when I spit it. Oh my this and oh my this, bitch get off my dick while me dead. Listen, eat that shit. It's not no diss. What I got on my waist is not gon' miss a perfect fit. Blocko, we don't care about war. Well, disregard, cause when I shoot, it's a disregard retard. Took my boards, I took them back. That's a recall. We used to fuck, nigga. I don't recall. Keep my space, then delete y'all. Put this on my memo. Swear I don't need y'all. Shoot that nigga up, he come down. That's a seesaw. Think Robin squash the way I beat y'all. Big soul. We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch. We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch. We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch. We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch.
You can catch this 40 or this Draco,
bitch. You can catch this 40 or this Draco, bitch. You can catch this 40 or this Draco, bitch. We gon' either make up or we break up, bitch.
All right.
I was digging that, actually. A couple things in the mix, not so much, but I was kind of frightened by the vocals, actually.
I was frightened in a good way. I
like
weird stuff like that. I love the energy, and the beat knocks. I like the beat a lot. I love the energy. It reminded me. It feels like it was heavily influenced by like Odd Future. I don't know if you know Odd Future, but they have some songs that kind of have that like real aggressive but raw type of sound. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the mix that I would definitely change. Like the vocals were like, what would you say, like 8 to 1K?
Yeah, they were
like
tearing my head off a little bit
yeah,
there.
They were
I felt like I had to lean into them, and I would have preferred to lean into him for the fact of the delivery and the performance, which was perfect for this song. It was great, but I felt like I had to either lean in or move back from the speakers of the way the vocals were mixed. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there were like some of the vocals that were doubled, and I wasn't a big fan of that. But I'm not a big fan of doubled vocals unless they're like super well blended together.
Yeah.
And I thought there was something else. Oh, there was a few parts that like it was like a held note that was like out of tune that threw me off a couple times.
Yeah, and that's just little stuff to tweak in the production and the mix and stuff. You know, I've heard some of JK's stuff, and that was really cool.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that Jesse said that "fuck the president" was the only line that he agrees with in the whole song. Which is really funny.
Oh, that's funny.
This is another repeat artist, Grand. I usually really like his stuff. So he's got the song called Timeless. It looks like it might be an outro to something, to like a project or whatever. Let's check it out though.
G91 sound.
It's been a little minute since I It's been a little minute since
G91 sound.
Been around, I've been getting older.
G91 sound.
Been there and I done that, I got paper on my own. If you see me and I'm with it, that's some shit I don't condone. They said you would cross me, but that's some shit that I know. Fake niggas show love, can't take that shit to the stove. Whoa, now we on. Say now we on, yeah. All my shit is strong, yeah. I've been on my own, yeah. Now we on. Now we on, yeah. All my draw is strong, yeah. I've been on my own, yeah. It's been a little minute since I
G91 sound.
It's been a little minute since I we all die one day. Is you on a runway, yeah. Can you reach into my soul? Can you reach into my soul?
G91 sound.
So, at first, normally, I would have complained about how long that intro was, because I'm just a person that really is displeased by super long intros, but it's an outro to a project, to an album or mixtape or whatever, so I can forgive it a bit for having such a long intro. Such a long intro to the outro.
Yeah, you know, I thought I had the right feel. The feel on that was really good. It was. I hesitate mentioning this because I know the reason they used that radio voice in there, because it's really cool and it's sort of giving it the late night fade out into the show thing going on. I would have hoped it would have been more intimate, because when you do that radio voice with the distortion and stuff, it doesn't always work, I would think, as an outro unless it has more, I would think, more reverb and delay effects on it, maybe.
Yeah, like bigger and wetter.
Yeah, a little bit like that. But, you know, without hearing the whole album, I can't really put a nail in that, because it might be perfect for the whole album. It might just be the perfect outro for the album.
Yeah,
you know, depending on what's gone before, and that makes a difference. So
yeah, out of context, you can't really make that call.
Exactly,
right.
You can't really say that. But it was produced well, performed well, had a great feel to it, and it felt like it should be the outro on an album.
I agree.
Definitely.
All right, so it's been an hour and a half, and that's pretty cool. But now it's just me and Russell.
Oh, shit, here we go.
So we're going to go to the after show, but we're going to do something special with the after show today, because to be honest, I've ran through like everything except for like maybe 3 or 4 from last week. So now what I want to do in this after show, let's just me and you talk about stuff, and if anyone has any questions, they can ask, and more like a little Q&A, but mainly me and you just kind of geek out and talk about whatever.
Yeah, and I wanted to say earlier when you guys
problem, Anthony.
Earlier when you guys were talking about the side chaining and everything, because I was driving in my car on the way here because I was at an important thing before I came here, and I was listening to that where you guys were talking about the side chaining and the kick and the bass.
Yeah.
In my opinion, on that one in particular, the bass was just a little bit overpowering.
I thought that, but then also sidechaining would have helped a bit.
Two things should have been happening there. Bring the bass down on that, and it was just all it was a beat. From what I remember, it's just the instrumental.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Ego by D-E-E.
Right, and the beat was good. There was a couple cool things on that I'd like to mention also, which is an important thing for beat makers to know. But back to the issue of sidechaining. Yes, sidechaining is very important, but you've also got to remember that when you do sidechaining, and sidechaining basically means that when the kick hits, it ducks the bass just a little bit, but you don't want to notice it's happening.
Right.
Unless you're using it on purpose as an effect, like in EDM.
But it's like noticeable when it's like, oh, this is meant to happen, and it's noticeable when it's like, that sounds weird.
Exactly. So yeah, on that particular one, side chaining and just basically turning down the bottom end on that a little bit. One thing I noticed about that also is another important thing you've got to keep in consideration when you're making beats is staying out of the way of a vocalist and the frequencies that a vocalist is going to do.
Yeah.
And that one did stay away from it. It had some really high frequency stuff going on, which as a mix engineer I probably would have gotten rid of,
or cut down.
Cut it down a little bit, because it would have gotten in the way of some of the definition of the vocals. But the meat of the vocals, that particular beat did not have anything going on that was going to get in the way of the vocals. And when you're making a beat, you've got to really keep that into consideration. And it really helps us as mix engineers when we get a multi-track beat or even a 2-track beat, and to be able to help mix the vocals in where we don't have to try to get rid of the stuff that's in the way of the vocals, because if it's already gotten rid of and you do it in an artistic manner.
Yeah.
That's
key though, is doing it in an artistic manner that doesn't make the beat feel empty.
Right, and it's not an artistic manner means doing it with the sounds you're using and the way you're mixing them.
Yeah.
And it's not just arbitrarily putting an EQ on the master mix and taking out the frequencies that the vocals are going to be in. Yeah. That's so that was something I noticed about that. That was really cool. They did that part in an artistic manner. They just really missed the boat on the bottom end on that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What else do we want to geek out on?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's the after show. We can geek out on whatever we want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can I geek out on that zombie show? What's it called?
Which one?
The one I don't watch anymore?
I don't watch any zombie shows.
Walking Dead.
Oh, what about it?
Used to be my favorite show.
Then what happened?
Then they stopped winning. They stopped winning.
Like against the zombies?
Well, no, against the other people.
Oh,
there was other people. There were lots of people
and
against the zombies and the good guys, and then there were bad guys that came along. And you always get the zombies. That's like environment.
Yeah.
But pretty soon the good guys stopped winning against the bad guys, and they kept getting crushed over and over. And I'm like, dude, I want to watch something to get away from life, not something that's like real life.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to watch the bad guys win all the time. It's too real.
That's too real. There's no way. So, by the way, I don't recommend watching.
Dude, I never watched it.
Really? Well, you don't watch TV.
You're right. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're here, if anyone has any questions regarding anything, I don't care, anything, ask them.
Hey, you did a live thing recently where you were talking about and asking opinions on what people thought should happen with this show.
Yeah.
Did you come to any decisions or anything?
I definitely need to make a checklist. Oh, this is a perfect thing. I forgot to mention that I'm not doing the show next week because I'm taking that time. One, because I've done it like 10 weeks in a row, and I just need a week to take a break from it. But also to work on the things that we talked about in that live video, which were, one, making a checklist of like when we listen to a song, kind of making sure we're not missing anything, like how does certain aspects of the mix sound, or this aspect of, like, a checklist of things to kind of listen for, give feedback with. So that's like a main thing. I want to try to get a better intro and outro down and not wing them every time. That wasn't really mentioned, but it's like an extension of the checklist thing.
That's a good idea too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about intro and outro to the show or each song?
The show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed the show, when I tune in, you've already well gone past introducing the person, so I'm not sure who's there.
Right.
And
but I don't know how do I don't want to every 10 minutes, like every 3 songs, reintroduce them, you know what I mean?
That's true.
It's kind of like, if you want to know who it is, go back to the beginning and watch when we're done. Or wait 24 hours and go to YouTube and watch it there.
That's cool. Yeah. And see the spreadsheet and know what songs were played and who did them.
Exactly. Shout out to my mom, who says 14 weeks, but I'm pretty sure I haven't done it 14 weeks straight. There have been 14 shows now, but they haven't been the first 3 or 4. I don't like. So there was a time I took a break because it was over the holidays. So, but I think it's been 10 weeks. This is like the 10th week in a row, maybe 11th. I don't know. That's neither here nor there.
It's been so many times you're not even sure anymore.
Right. But some of the other feedback, I'm still considering the facial expression rating thing. Did you catch that?
Yes, I did, and that seemed kind of weird to me. And it
seems
like something would be really hard to implement.
Right. Because I'd have to have them all like lined up and then choose them, and that seems like extra work I don't want to have to think about.
Yeah, because you're also at the same time getting the next song ready, typing in stuff, and
right.
That, to me, it was kind of a neat idea, and it would be kind of cool. Maybe you could do it in the comments later when you watch your whole show again.
Yeah, I do tend to go back and watch the whole show. I go back and I'm like, I just want to watch this one part, and the next thing you know, I'm like an hour in and like, well, might as well finish it.
Yeah.
Because I always learn something about myself. Or reflection time. Get real introspective watching myself for like an hour and a half just talking. Yeah, and plus the more I think about it, the more that's kind of like a wacky, zany thing to do. Like, oh, funny picture of my face. And it's like,
yeah,
I kind of want it to be a little more serious than that.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool for maybe one episode. Just
right.
Throw them in or something.
Some fun
like a cartoon episode.
What about, Did you have any thoughts on? There was someone that was suggesting like the idea of basically a consultant in terms of having like charging people to send me stuff to give them like a one-on-one thing, and how like I didn't really want to do that because that feels like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right, and I'd rather them just have me just pay me to mix it for them instead of
Right.
pay me to listen to it and
Listen
tell
to
you
it and
like,
tell them something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a member of Taxi, taxi.com. That's where they're an A&R company out of California, Calabasas, California, close to LA. And one of the things that they do is, for their members, is give a critique. You pay them $20 and industry professional critiques your song, critiques your mix, whatever it is that you want to know about your song. And that kind of reminded me of that. But, you know, if you're already doing that kind of thing here for free.
Right.
But I think what they were talking about might have been more of an in-depth kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like you said, at the same time, you know, $5 to spend, how much time would you spend on it? You spend probably, my guess is if you were doing it, you would probably spend a good half hour on it.
That sounds about right. Because
Yeah.
I'd probably listen to it once and take initial notes while I'm listening. Listen to it again without taking notes to kind of like really dive in, and then sit there and like go into an insane amount of detail on things.
Then the time to type it out, or
and get it back to them and everything. Because at that point, I feel like, well, if you're paying me, I'm gonna give you all that I got. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then even then, the thing that I worry about is that, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't tell him how to drink. Is that what the phrase is?
Not tell them how to, you can't make them drink.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess this is kind of a play on that, where like I can tell you all day like what is really good and what needs fixed and this and that, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna do it or do it right. And maybe you just don't like know how to do it right. Maybe your ear isn't trained. Maybe your room isn't treated. Maybe you don't have the right plug-in or gear or equipment or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's certain limitations, like physically and skill-wise, that just because I tell you doesn't mean that you're going to do it and it's actually going to work.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, and I think what you're worried about is them actually taking what they've paid for and being able to do something with it, because I know your integrity and I know what you like to provide for people. And yeah, you would throw all this stuff out there, give them way more than their money's worth, but in the end, what would happen is what would happen after that. Whereas they would get much more value of just fucking hiring you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I do, and I already do. Like, people will send me their stuff and want one-on-one feedback, and I do it sometimes. And the only reason we want to adjust that.
Yeah, I want to adjust that, but go ahead. I'll do it in a minute after, because I didn't want to make microphone fart noises when I do it.
Gotcha.
Go ahead. What were you saying? You do it.
I do it sometimes, but a lot of times I don't, and it's just because like a time thing. Like I don't have the extra half an hour to do this for you, especially when I have like at least like 5 people a week wanting me to do it. Like that's a lot of my time to do that, and I'm already on like a pretty busy schedule.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing with these industry pros over at Taxi. When they're doing what they're doing, they're sort of putting that into their little extra time where they find extra time,
right?
Which doesn't come up very often in this industry, not at all.
No.
Here's some noise. Oh, that's not bad actually at all. I just wanted to kick back and relax just like you are.
It's comfortable.
Well, I feel better now. I'm leaning back.
Right.
I'll probably talk softer now. Reminds me of the radio days.
Just get readable. Welcome.
Mixing. There's something I wanted to throw out to the people. When we're working with you guys and the tracks that you do, and you're bringing in these 2-track songs and throwing your lyrics and your vocals and all your different parts on these things, if you're bringing in just a 2-track beat, that is way different than what we can do if you're able to get a hold of, purchase, bring in a multi-track beat. That one that you played by Big Head earlier on, and if you guys haven't heard it yet, go back and listen to that. That was provided to us as a multi-track beat. And when we get multi-tracks, we can do so much more with it. Now, this reminds me of something else, too. When I was talking to some beat makers in here one time, and I was talking about, how I will re-EQ things, recompress it, and sometimes actually move parts around to construct a better part, in my opinion.
Yep.
And they said, well, some beat makers won't work with you anymore if you just chop up their stuff and do that. I'm like, well, you know what? Then they're not professional producers. Because if once you make it and you put it into somebody else's hands, whatever they do with it is whatever they do with it.
Yeah.
Whatever you make isn't gold. It's not something that anybody can't touch. Your stuff isn't untouchable.
And I've seen like contracts. They're mainly lease contracts, not exclusive contracts.
Yeah.
That explicitly say that you're not allowed to do that based on the contract, which is kind of like.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Well, yeah, forget it then. I'm not going to bother because if I can't chop it up. I think what they're worried about, though, on leasing is that they'll chop it up and make it something new and then try to resell it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
But if you're leasing a non-exclusive beat, then why bother chopping it up anyway?
I agree. I agree. But yeah, I do that. I mean, I even do that with my own beats that I work with people on. Is as we're recording or writing or whatever, if we decide, we should get somebody else on this, instead of going back to the original beat, I know I can just use my stems that I have to move some stuff around and create a bridge part or just throw in an extra verse.
Oh, yeah. Anything I do is never set in stone.
Never.
You've got to be able to not think of that as your baby and you can't touch it.
Right.
Otherwise, nothing's going to get done.
Yeah, any production that I do with people isn't like here's the beat and now you put things on it. What do you want to do with it?
Right.
I'll change it up. You want it faster? You want it slower? You want to add something here? You don't like that sound? Screw it. We'll take it out. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like a collaboration.
Yes, I would much rather collaborate with someone than sell them a beat that I made.
Yeah, but see, when I do stuff with people, it's almost always, well, no, it is. It's always collaboration. It's back and forth, and then we both own the rights to that song that we've created, and it's always been that way for me.
And I'm not even like I'm concerned, but like my end game or my there's no ulterior motive for me on I want to collab with you so I own rights to the song. It's I want to collab with you so that we can make the best song.
Oh, yeah.
But if we do that, then there are going to be some rights.
Yeah.
Rightfully.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's not that you're trying to ride somebody else's coattails. What you're trying to do is bring value to the partnership.
Exactly.
And then, since you're bringing value to the partnership, you should get something out of it that's equal to the value that you put in it. And I've noticed, too, with every collaboration I've done, it's the sum is greater. I mean, the whole is greater than the. I mean, sum is greater than the parts are added together. Oh crap! I killed that brain cell. I know I did.
Yeah, I know. Man.
The whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Yes.
That means that two collaborators come together and one person has these capabilities and this person has these capabilities. And when they bring those things together and create a new melding of what they can do, you feed off of each other and it helps step you up so that what you create when you're collaborating is so much better than you could have ever created by yourself and better than they could have done by themselves and better than two things done separately put together.
Yeah. That's kind of how, like, me and Rico, the other engineer here at Razdabar, we had a client, and that was yesterday, right? Yeah, that was yesterday. That was yesterday.
Rico was here, but you didn't see him yesterday.
Oh, no, it was Saturday.
Okay.
It was Saturday. I was just hanging out because I had a session earlier in the day and then was here for that listening party. And then I just hung around and stayed for that session that Rico had. And he was like, he's a really great, like, he has the producer's touch. When, like, not just an engineer, but also doing, like, producer type things, like, better and more so than I do and than I am. So he was like doing some coaching type things and suggestions for like ad libs and delivery, and you know what I mean, that was really cool. And then while he was doing that, I was showing him like some quick things that you can do to like do things like more efficiently in Pro Tools.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
like little tricks and some of the mixing and EQ and treating stuff that I do. So like we like collaborated really well on that, and it was definitely the whole was a greater sum of our parts.
Right. Yeah. And that's the way it works that way all the time. Getting along with somebody instead of competing with them.
Yeah.
Is working with people instead of competing.
Yes.
It always raises everybody's end product so much higher.
Yeah. Would you say it raises the bar?
It does. It raises the bar. Imagine that.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I definitely 100% adopt that philosophy that helping other people and working with other people will have a better outcome for everybody, including yourself, than trying to compete with others.
Right.
There's an entrepreneur that I follow who has a saying, who has like another way to describe that philosophy is that he wants to build, or you should build, whatever, building the biggest building in town by building the biggest building in town, not tearing down all the other buildings.
Right.
Like I could have the tallest building in town if I level everybody else.
Yeah, you never tear anybody down because, no, it's just small to do that.
Yeah.
It's just small.
You're
gonna
have a small building. You might be the biggest one, but it's going to be small.
Still a small
There's
building.
not going to be anybody around you, and no one's going to care because they're all going to be gone. But you work with other people, and you build their building with them, and you work off of each other, and you know what you have to offer, and you just put that a little bit of competitive edge to work harder and make your building a little bit taller by helping them build theirs. It's a whole thing.
That's exactly right. And I brought this up at the last Razdabar networking meeting that we had here when we had we had a panel. What was the panel? It had to do with
Flam and Flam's manager and.
Anyway, the panel was about what Dayton people could do to step up their game, and one of the things we talked about was networking, and one of the keys to networking and also collaboration is to do something for the other person. You don't do networking, you don't do collaboration for yourself. But the actual effect of networking and collaborating when you're doing something for other people, it actually comes back to you because they're doing something for you too, if they're doing it right. And even if they're not, the whole universe will run everything around and make it come back to you. But the key to networking and collaborating is basically doing something for the other person. And that always comes back to you. It always makes everything better. It always creates a product and an environment where things grow and become better. It's just that's the way it works.
I'm trying to find Money Mag's music.
Okay. Yeah, we need to play one of his songs because we didn't get to play it when he was here.
Yeah, I was gonna end with that here in a little bit, but I don't know.
He said you could find him anywhere.
I mean that's I feel like that's it. 25/8 Entertainment, right?
I can't read that without my glasses.
Man, I feel like this
your phone is made for younger eyes.
Would you look at that? To be honest, I stopped looking at the comments, so I don't know if anyone said anything in the last little bit.
Maybe we need to find out if there were some questions that we need to answer from the two people that are left watching.
I will do that, and then, or do you have it up?
I did a minute ago, and somehow or other I left.
the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, they were helping us remember what it is. Right?
Okay. All right. In that case, let me go find Money Mag's music real quick. I think I found it, but I just want to be sure that it's him. In the meantime, while I'm searching for this, do you want to promote any Razdabar stuff that you can think of? Like that tax deal that we have going on.
We have a tax deal going on?
Yeah.
So apparently somebody told you about it and not me.
They didn't tell you that?
No.
They didn't tell you that we're offering 10 hours of recording for $400, but it doesn't have to be a consecutive session. You can use those 10 hours however you want.
That is an awesome deal. We do that every year, actually, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're doing the tax deal. That's 10 hours of recording time at the normal contiguous session rate, and you can split it up however you want. And 10 hours will get you a really good single. I only said that slightly tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Depending on, how big of a production you're going to make it, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But you could also have a single that's not that. But no, I mean, depending on how big of a production you want to go with, you're right, that is a solid amount of time to have a well-produced, well-delivered, well-mixed, well-mastered, big thing.
I mixed a single that had 3 different vocalists. It had seemed like it had 32 vocal tracks, plus all of the individual tracks for all the instruments and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me longer than that because
I don't doubt it.
When you've got that many tracks, and it actually turned out really good, awesome stuff. But when you've got 3 different vocalists doing their lead parts, doing because there were 3 different features, I guess you would say.
Okay.
And 1 hook, and the hook was done by one of the features.
Okay.
Okay. And each feature did their own ad-libs and doubles.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to mix all those in the right spot and then make all those blend well together with the hook.
Yep.
And that takes some serious work. So I went over 12 hours, well over 12 hours on that one.
But the thing is, it wasn't 12 hours of BS and doing too much. It was 12 needed hours.
That was just the mixing.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It was. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
but I'm just trying.
I wasn't jerking off.
No, but I'm.
Yeah, and
I'm just trying to emphasize the importance of some people want to make a track with that much going on, but want it to just be mixed in a couple hours or
no
less.
Way. There's no
and
way.
It's sometimes you get what you pay for, and sometimes the extra time is needed to bring it up to the quality that it deserves. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But if you're coming in with a 2-track and going to lay down only your lead vocal and a couple of overdubs and some ad-libs.
You don't have a crazy intensive hook with a bunch of layers and harmonies and parts.
Right, and you could, let's see, for 10 hours you could get 3 songs. You think?
Yeah, if you want to mix them all too while you're there, is that what you mean?
Yeah, 10 hours of recording and mixing. 10 hours to record and mix 3 songs. Wait a minute, that's 3 hours per song. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, I feel like if I were an artist and I was going to do a 10-hour session, I would come prepared to lay depending on, if I was just a rapper with 2 tracks and just nothing, just I wanted to put bars down on a 7 or 8 song EP. I mean, it's rough because that's a lot of time recording.
That would be brutal. I can't see any way that one single artist could spend 10 hours laying bars into the mic. There's just no way. No, there's no way, because by the end of that session, By the end of that session, you'd be so broached, your voice would be so screwed up, and your brain would be so mushed. Now, if it was a 10-hour session, 10-hour recording session where you're bringing your features in to lay their parts and everything down like that,
Well,
where you're taking a break,
I mean,
you're focusing with the brain.
I'm not talking about 10 hours straight.
Well, yeah, you take your breaks, but still.
You don't think?
No.
You don't think it would sound good?
No, I had a band in here, and when we had the band, but they weren't all doing everything else. Sometimes they were just sitting there waiting for the vocalists to get their stuff done.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Or we had to redo a certain bass part or something like that, and the others were just sitting around waiting. But still, they told me by the end of that session, and I think it was basically an 8-hour session. At the end of that, they're like, that was brutal. You know, even though they weren't all of them doing everything all the time, even though they're sitting back waiting for other people to get it done, they were still totally wiped out by the end of that session. And the end of the session, they were just like, let's get it over. And they even had to come back in and re-record some of the parts because by the end of the session, they were just...
Too much?
Yeah, they were gone.
I don't know. I think a rapper could do it. Because like with breaks in there and like getting some food a little bit and like creating an environment. Like if it was just the artist and the engineer and that's the only people and we're just recording this whole time, yeah, that would be brutal. But I feel like if you made it a whole day event, like you had a couple features come in and do stuff, you kind of chilled, you got some food, you took some breaks to do a little bit of like pre-mixing type things and checking stuff and listening back and kind of going back and forth and making a day event out of it, and you really loved it, I think it'd be doable.
Yeah, you got a good point there. But the thing is, you've also got to understand is those breaks, the artist is still paying for the breaks.
That's true.
And a lot of artists, and this is one of the things that Rob Shirelli told me. He's a producer and mix engineer. He's done Will Smith, Madonna, Isn't She Lovely? Who's that?
I don't know.
That's somebody way before your time. Anyway, one thing that he told me is he'll be in there mixing something, and if the artist happens to be in there where he's mixing it, he'll mix it for about 45 minutes. He'll take a break. He'll walk out of the room, go watch TV, have a little snack, drink, walk out of the room, walk out of the building, and then come back in 15 minutes later and get started again on the mixing. And they're like, dude, I'm paying you for this time. What are you doing? He's like, yeah, you're paying me for this time, but you're also paying me for that time because that's that time, those 15 minutes away every hour is what keeps my brain and my abilities focusing the other 45 minutes. Because if I keep going straight, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
And those breaks
I agree with that.
Are so important. Yeah. So
I agree.
So we geeked out on that.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to try it sometime.
What, taking breaks?
No, taking a 10-hour session. I really want to do a 10-hour session.
I suck at taking breaks. When I'm at home, in my home studio working, I'll get going and I'll look up at the clock and I'm like, oh crap, I got to fix dinner, you know?
Yeah, I don't eat dinner, so it's even worse. Usually, you know what helps me take breaks? Having a dog.
Oh yeah, the dog keeps coming up, going out. Walk me, pet me, walk me,
I
pet
need to go
me.
outside. I need to go outside. I need to go outside. Attention, please.
Yeah.
Attention. Can I have some attention?
It was funny seeing Milo on your live feed the other night.
He was
last
begging
night?
for attention last night.
Yeah, he was missing Daddy.
Anyway, it's getting late, and I'm getting tired. And I think I can do a 10-hour session. I can't even do...
Dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Anyway, so because I always play... If you're an artist and you come on the show, I always have to play your song. Not because I have to, but because I want to.
Yep.
Honest truth. So this is Money Mag. It's called Counting Up. I'm playing the official video on YouTube. You can look it up. I'm not going to show it to you, but you can at least listen to it, I guess.
You could hold that up to the camera.
Yeah, and that's not happening. I have to turn the volume up. There we go. And I paused it. Cool. Awesome.
25-8. Yeah. Fuck nigga. Yeah.
Hating ass nigga keep talking down, huh?
Yeah.
We gon' keep counting up. Fuck them niggas, let's go.
Counting up, counting up. Sucker niggas tucking down, we be counting up. Counting up, counting up. Getting to this money, nigga, I can't count enough. Counting up, counting up. Sucker niggas tucking down, we be counting up. Counting up, counting up. Getting to this money, nigga, I can't count enough. King James nigga ballin' like a hooper. Flexin' on these niggas like I'm Lex Luger. Keep a stick on me, I don't need a shooter. My circle full of winners, I don't fuck with losers. Honestly, I'm everything they plan to be. Your main bitch want me as her man to be. I can tell your chick is such a fan of me. DM me so much, it's like she spamming me. Ignore whenever she call, I ain't got time, nigga tryna ball. 10 toes, I ain't tryna fall, nigga want a piece and I want it all. Middle finger to you fuck niggas, put a cape on them, make them super mad. Broke bitter and they mean mugging, every time I spit them, I just gotta laugh. Counting up, counting up. Sucker niggas tucking down, we be counting up. Counting up, counting up. Getting to this money, nigga, I can't count enough. Counting up, counting up. Sucker niggas tucking down, we be counting up. Counting up, counting up. Getting to this money, nigga, I can't count enough. I had peas up in the Tahoe, I was switching lanes. Working in, I'm jugging, trying to make some change. Niggas out here lane, they jugging for the fame. Get them up, they singing like they had a cane. Fly as fuck, excuse me for my arrogance. Between us and them is no comparison. They like you know X is really evident. Really, these niggas really relevant. Nigga really started from the bottom, I was really sleeping in the basement. Notebook full of 16 and a meme up with my face is. Kinda like my pockets pillow talking when the money's in them and it's cake in. Yeah, nigga all the way up and these hating niggas gotta face it. Oh Lord, counting up, counting up. Sucker niggas tucking down, we be counting up. Counting up, counting up. Getting to this money, nigga, I can't count enough. Counting up, counting up. Sucker niggas tucking down, we be counting up.